So we're going to welcome Mrs. Messaoudi and Mr. Andrew Wong. Well, most of us probably know both of them, and especially Andrew Wong, who's been a member of IUFRO and ICWS for a long time. And they're going to talk to us about a new type of treatment. It's an envelope treatment about a new generation of wood protection. It's based on vegetable extract associated with cypermethrin, and it's been tested against the very destructive Coptotermus termites.
I'm glad you're in the audience today. The title of my talk is on the surface treatment or envelope treatment of wood with a new generation wood preservative based on vegetal extract cypermethrin components against destructive termites of the tropics. As you know, subterranean termites, as well as rot fungi, are most serious wood pests of wood-based materials in the subtropics and equatorial tropics. Not only in the equatorial tropics, as you can appreciate in the subtropics of southern France or Spain, where climate change is taking over rapidly, you will get a invasion of termites in areas that were previously not expected to have termites. So there are development of wood chemicals by industry being used to treat wood against termites and also rot fungi. And wood that is used for structural purposes such as bridges, buildings, and if they're left untreated, they would be susceptible to termites in the long-term usage. So the industry would be interested in the R&D work in developing more environmentally acceptable wood preservatives, such as bio-based wood protecting chemicals for use. And these are more safe to use, regarded safer to use compared to the traditional high hazard toxic wood preservatives that have been developed since the early 1950s. The purpose of this study is to report on the success story of the Sinochem technology of development of permethrin-based vegetal extracts, wood preservatives applied by brush-on a tropical timber called Kempas, which is a popular timber for structural use in Malaysia and Indonesia. And to evaluate how well this treated wood would perform against the destructive subterranean termites found in Sarawak, and to compare the results of this evaluation with the commercial permethrin-based light organic solvent preservatives, which are deep treated in Kempas. And light organic solvent is hazardous because of the toxic white treat that is used in the formulation. And it will be interesting to try and substitute it with more environmentally friendly wood preservatives in future. The location of the test is a tropical forest, nearly a peat swamp forest in Sarawak, whereby the Coptotermus cuvignatus is prevalent, and it's an ideal test site to do such termite testing of treated wood against termites. The hazard class condition that of interest in this study is wood that is exposed in the long term as in service, above ground, indoors, and free from wetting and in the dark. And the duration of the termite field test that I've conducted is about 6 months. The wood that is artificially aged by exposing the treated wood to an evaporative aging of 18 days in an oven at 40 degrees C. This will allow an artificial evaporative aging of the wood preservatives in the wood. Here are 2 wood preservatives that are being tested and reported here. The candidate Sinochem wood preservative that is comprised of vegetal extracts as well as cypermethrin and a fungicide tobiconazole. And we compare the performance with the LOSP permethrin-based traditional biocide. Note that the mean retention of the pyrethroid in the wood is very low. That is 0.004% mass of the wood. And this is compared with the Australian standard wood preservative requirement of a minimum of 0.03% cypermethrin in the wood. So we will show later on that even with such very low retentions of the pyrethroid cypermethrin in the wood, you still can get very good wood protection against termites. The Sinochem technology briefly involves the use of polyphenolic vegetal extract that is a booster or a binder of the cypermethrin in the wood to ensure that the cypermethrin in the wood, even though it is applied as a surface protection, fixes very well into the wood cells and resists any form of evaporative aging or even leaching in the presence of water. The test setup is a metal container containing the treated wood in between, as you can see, and sandwiched in between the treated wood, candidate treated wood, or the LOSP treated wood, or the test untreated wood. Sandwiched between them are plenty of wood-based material and cardboard material that are all susceptible to termites. And the trick of this test setup is to ensure that the termites that are present underneath the metal container rapidly colonize the metal container before any mold fungi or decay fungi have any chance to get to attack the wood itself. So the idea is to have a clean attack of the wood, treated wood in the container by termites and no other organisms in the field test. Here, on top, as I've shown you before, it's a metal container. At the bottom are real-life pictures of metal containers, 2 metal containers that are covered on the top to prevent the ingress of water from rainfall or even humidity or flooding. And at the end of the termite test, you can see the last 2 pictures. Termites are crawling all over the bait material and have obviously visited the treated wood material that you are imposing tests against termites. And on the left, the cardboard material that is used to wrap the treated wood have been completely consumed. That means the termites have been in contact with the treated wood, but as shown later on by the result, it has not actually degraded the treated wood at all. Here are the results to show you. The top row of figures will show that on your left, for example, the mass loss due to termite is very high, 70.4% mass loss. So a lot of wood has been consumed if it's not treated by termites. Yeah, a lot of campus wood was chewed up by termites. And you compare this with the mass loss of the commercial traditional LOSP cypermethrin, as well as permethrin, as well as the Sinochem cypermethrin performance, which showed negligible mass losses due to the treated formulations being used as surface treated wood. The absolute mass loss again is in agreement with the mass loss. It shows that 20,400 milligrams of wood has been consumed if the wood is not treated, in comparison with very low, probably no consumption that is being used on treated wood. Now, let me say that the mass loss of treated wood due to termite is inversely proportional to the termite rating scores that you see. So on your right, you will see that the mass loss for the untreated wood, the mean mass loss for the untreated wood is about 2.4% only. It's all nearly zero. Whereas the treated wood rated visually against the degree of termite attacks at a perfect rating of 10 for both the commercial permethrin light organic solvent preservative as well as the Sinochem cypermethrin vegetal extract preservative. Below are 3 pictures. The one on the left shows a perfect free from attack of the Sinochem treated wood, Sinochem cypermethrin treated wood, and in comparison with the traditional light organic solvent preservative treated wood. And the last picture, you can see various shades of degradation occurred on the untreated wood. And there are about four pictures there that shows that the wood has been almost or totally consumed by termites when untreated with any of these preservatives. And you can compare the results of the Sinochem treated wood on the top row versus the bottom row, where I introduced two bio-based chemicals that we have tested and reported last year in various forums, including the World Wood Day Symposium, whereby we also reported that the bio-based permethrin chemical and the bio-based cypermethrin chemical applied by envelope treatment as well have conferred total termite resistance against compass wood, and also in similarity with the chromated copper arsenate treated wood that is a traditional wood preservative being used. And therefore, in all, the commercial permethrin LOSP treated wood, the chromated copper arsenate treated wood, as well as the three new generation wood preservatives, which is Sinochem vegetal extract, the bio-based permethrin treated wood, and the bio-based cypermethrin treated wood are excellent control against termites for long-term use. And bear in mind that these three new generation preservatives has a great potential to replace the toxic hazardous preservatives that are exemplified by the chromated copper arsenate, the CCA, and the light organic solvent preservatives in future. In conclusion, we will say that the new candidate Sinochem cypermethrin vegetable extract preservatives has great potential being used in protecting wood above ground, indoors, for long periods of time and free from wetting. And it's comparable to those preservatives that I've reported in the last slide. And it's certainly a good example of an eco-friendly and cost-effective new generation wood preservative for above ground wood protection of structural timbers. And it's also a potential use of these new generation preservatives for the protection or the conservation of wooden cultural heritage properties. And I'm aware that some of these formulations are now being applied for the protection of wooden cultural heritage properties in certain parts of Europe. Thank you very much for your listening. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Andrew, for this presentation. Thanks very much. It's interesting to see a work that's been done between industry and research. Your field tests are always very impressive, Andrew. We still have time, for some question. Anyone for a question? Do not hesitate to raise your hand. No? No question? If not, I have a little question. Have you tried this treatment on other timbers, Andrew, other than Campus?
It would be interesting in future if resources become available to extend treatments with other timbers. Campus is a timber that can absorb preservative by pressure treatment, and therefore having a envelope treatment would not raise any questions about treatability. I believe that if there's an opportunity, one could also include refractory timber because they are difficult to impregnate, and hence the best way to treat it is by envelope treatment strategy. And pretty sure that if the technology holds out, it would also provide the same result as you would expect in campus. So we shall see. Yeah, in future there's a lot of opportunities to compare this with a refractory timber, but I would anticipate that we should still have good results with that.
That's interesting, because I agree for cultural heritage that a shell treatment is interesting, and then it can allow to treat different species, wood species. And just one more question. No one's going to ask a question. Then I can ask you a question. You said you had no fungal decay, but I was wondering if you had molds or not, because it's pretty humid in your field test.
Good question, actually. The idea of this test is to get the termites to come in pretty rapidly. I mean, you also need the humid conditions inside the assembly to get the termites to do its work. So yeah, the risk is always there to have more fungi coming in, and that sort of prevents termites from doing its job. So if that happens, then we need to repeat the test. In this case, the mold fungi was not there. The termites came in rapidly and was able to do its work on the timber, especially the untreated timber, before any observation of mold presence in the container. So, yeah, we are mindful of that potential disruption by if the mold were to get in before the termites did do. Thanks.
Yeah, well done. Well, thank you very much. I think the time is over now. Thank you very much, Andrew, for the presentation.